Good afternoon, and this is my first time posting on YouTube. I go by the name Dom Palayo. Just a little history lesson for some of you. Dom Palayo was the first Christian leader during the Spanish Reconquista. Of course, if you know about history, the back in the year 711, the Muslims invaded into the Iberian Peninsula, what's modern day Spain and Portugal. Um, the Christians that were located there in the Iberian Peninsula at the time, they were people called the Visigoths. The Visigoths were forced to flee into the north, up into the mountains in the very far north of Spain. There they began to regroup. And so I've just, Don Pelayo was their leader, and he helped begin to rebuild the Christian forces there in Spain. And eventually, over the course of about 8 centuries, the Christians were able to fight their way back and retake their homeland. Part of the reason why I decided to use the name Don Pelayo was because I feel like we're here in the United States. We are kind of in the same position in some ways. Not so much physical armies, but we have our backs against the wall in a lot of other ways. We have an onslaught, attacks against our families, our society, our culture is falling apart. We're just seeing a gradual degrading of our society, and for that reason, I feel like I wanted to create this video blog just to kind of talk about some of these issues. I don't want to get too political with this channel. I do want to, our society is very divided. Americans are divided about 50-50, pretty much 50-50. I mean, it may sway a little bit one way or the other, but we're just about right down the line 50-50. So I would really like to try to keep it from getting bickering back and forth, but we've got to find some solutions on how we can strengthen our communities and strengthen our society and strengthen our families and our households. So that's why I am building this page. I have a website, SpanishNight.com. I just went live with that. It's a very basic, rudimentary website, but I will be adding and building onto that as time goes on. What I'm hoping to achieve by this channel is I just want to be able to talk to people. This is mostly, this channel can be for anybody, but I, mostly have these conversations with other guys, and ladies are more than welcome to chip in too, of course, but we're all part of this country. We all have to be part of the solution. We keep looking for political leaders to be the answer to our problems. Washington, D.C. is not going to fix our problems. I have just kind of given up on expecting that from Washington, D.C. I tend to skew Republican. I'm a pretty strong. I wouldn't say I'm a far right extremist, but I tend to skew that way, more conservative. I'm not. Sometimes I'm more centrist on certain issues. It just kind of depends on what the topic is. I will be posting pretty regularly. I want to talk a little bit about the news today. Joe Biden, our current president, has just announced that he's going to be stepping aside. It sounds like Kamala Harris is going to be their nominee. It should be an interesting debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Part of the reason why I supported and continue to support Donald Trump, I am a Trump supporter. It's just for so long we have needed a political leader that their main priority is looking after America, the homeland. we keep electing political leaders, Republicans and Democrats, that seem more interested in dealing with things in Europe, going to these global meetings where they're meeting with all these global leaders and hobnobbing with the world elite. And that's why the world elite don't like Donald Trump, because he doesn't do that. He's trying to make things better here, and some of the world leaders don't like that so much. So Donald Trump's not the answer to all of our problems. I don't sometimes he is a little bit coarse. I would agree with that. I've told people back in 2015 when he first announced that he was running that I compared Donald Trump to a mechanic. He might be crude, and you probably wouldn't want him to date your daughter, but he knows how to get in there and work on the engine. And when I talk about the engine, I'm talking about the American economy. I feel like he was good for the economy while he was there. COVID certainly did not help, but that was a global problem that affected every country on the planet. It wasn't something that he had any control of, but those 3 years prior to that, things were humming along quite nicely. So what I would like to see is for him to get reelected. I do want to see more pro-America policies, want to see us begin to really take care of things here at home. We have a lot of issues right here at home, and we keep sending billions and billions and billions of dollars to other countries, money that we don't have. We borrow the money from others, and then we give it away. And can you imagine running your household like that? Let me go take out a $10,000 loan and just go give it out to somebody out in the street. I don't understand why our government does this. I feel like there's got to be a better way of handling these problems. So this is why we have a $35 trillion national debt. Because we keep borrowing this money and money that we're going to have to pay the interest on, and we've given the money away instead of trying to at least improve things here. I feel for the people in Ukraine. I hate that what's happened, but I agree we should help them but we should be contributing a portion, assisting in some way, but we shouldn't be the only ones. There's like 200 other countries on the planet, 250 countries on the planet that could also be chipping in a little, to help them. But, that's my feeling about it. As for Taiwan, Taiwan, I feel like it's a lost cause, to be completely honest with you. I hate saying that, but facts are facts, and the facts are that Taiwan is about 80 miles off of China's coast, and China has about 800 million people, maybe more. It might be more than that. It might be 1 billion people. So, let's just face facts here. I don't see that we're going to be successful. And if China decides to attack Taiwan, do we really want to sacrifice thousands and thousands of American lives trying to protect that island across the Pacific Ocean? So that's my opinion on it. Again, some Republicans, some conservatives are very pro-military and are really, yo-jo, but I feel like, we need to have a strong military. We need to defend our homeland. We need to certainly do what we can to calm tensions down globally. Sometimes I feel like we just contribute to more heated problems. As for what I would like to see done here in America, I want to see, first of all, more pro-growth policies for our economy. We need small businesses are dying right now, and I mean, one of the biggest weaknesses of Joe Biden's presidency is that small business is getting killed right now. Even the larger businesses are struggling, with the cost of everything, but small business has really been hurting. So that's one issue that we need to get back to pro-growth policies. We need to get a handle on the immigration issue. You know, I'm not a racist. I don't hate Hispanic people. I actually speak Spanish. I lived 2 years in southern Spain. I lived in Spain for a couple of years. And, so I speak Spanish, and I've worked with Hispanic people in my career. And, it's just a matter of we can't have hundreds of thousands of people a month flooding into our country, no matter what race or ethnicity they are. You know, what it does is it overwhelms our schools, our hospitals. Housing prices have shot up. That's a part of the housing deal. You have to these people have to live somewhere. There's a number of problems that this causes. It puts more congestion on our roads. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Let's not even talk about the fentanyl problem that we have, and you know how many hundreds of thousands of young Americans are dead because of the drug problem coming across the border. So that's got to be dealt with. Other than that, I would really like to see the size and scope of the federal government reduced. I feel like we've built all of these different departments, and it's just bulky. You know, when the Department of Education was created, America was at the top, one of the best countries in the world in terms of education. We slid down to about 30th. Not all of that's due to the Department of Education. I do feel like part of that was video games and internet. The reason I say that is I remember when video games really started coming out. I kind of grew up around that period, and I remember when the Nintendo came out. And one of my friends, one of my best friends during that period, he was always the smartest kid in our class, and always won everything, the spelling bees, and he was, you know, I was in elementary school. But he always dominated all the grades, you know. He would have been valedictorian. But then the Nintendo came out, and I went over to his house, and he had the Nintendo. He's got his TV, and he had a stack of video games, probably 30 games high. And it started changing. It started changing, and you know, he wasn't the top student anymore. And I think that's been part of our problem, is all this digital stuff. People don't read anymore. When was the last time you pick up a book and read? I do, just because I've been studying for different exams and things like that. But you know, most Americans are not reading. What they do read is on their phone, and they're looking at videos, and most of these videos online these days are just smut. Let's just be honest with you. For the most part, it's cultural, it's trash. And I just feel like all of this online content, all the videos and the all of that, it's kind of like giving a kid candy. You keep giving them candy, and they don't eat vegetables, you know? And it's like, we got to get back to like a healthy lifestyle, not just, you know, our diet, but what we're putting into our minds too. And I think that's a big problem in America right now. I think that's a big part of the reason why our education has slipped the way it has. So, those are some of my opinions. I am not going to, if you have an opinion that's different from mine, I'm not going to hate on you. I'm willing to have, if you feel like there's other things that we could be doing to make our country better, making society better, please make your comments known. I don't have any issues with that. I like to have a healthy conversation. Again, this is my first video, so it's a little bit off the cuff here. I will be gradually putting more content out, but as for now, this is Dom Palayo signing out.